like steep, rocky hill climbs and testing your four-wheel drive to its limits as much as we do, well, this video is for you. G'day guys, Steve with Broken Sprocket. In this video, Zach and I take our four-wheel drives up one of the steepest and rockiest and most challenging hills that we can find, just to see if we could make it. So, do we destroy our vehicles, do we have to winch out, or do we manage to drive the whole thing? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's get started. Before I get to the hill section, I've got to get through this twisty section. Zach's Hilux with his rear diff lock gets through this so easily, but Eileen takes a couple of goes, and you have to keep the momentum up when you have no diff lockers through this kind of thing. Okay, Zach's first up with his Hilux taking on this hill challenge. The hill really has three stages of difficulty. Stage 1 is this stage here, stage 2 is a little bit more difficult, and stage 3 is very difficult. Well, he gets through that first stage with barely even turning a tyre. This is the second stage of the hard hill climb. There's a large rock to the right hand side and a big tree to the left side, so you have to go in between both, and your back wheel seems to sit on a tree root which provides absolutely no traction whatsoever. So Zach repositions himself slightly closer to the tree, gets a huge wheel lift there, and you can see that rear diff locker just keeps pushing the vehicle forward, which is fantastic. And with the view from the back, you can really see that diff locker just pushing that vehicle forward. This is the third section of the hill climb. There's a large rock on the left hand side, and there's a big gap between two rocks on the right hand side, and you're also turning basically a 90-degree turn, which makes it very difficult to find any kind of traction. You can see that the rear wheels are stuck on very loose, rocky type stuff which gives no traction, and now the front has fallen in between those two rocks. The rocks are that loose on the rear tyres that they just struggle to find any traction at all. Go back. Right, a little bit of runoff. So with a little bit of momentum, Zach should be able to pop these front tyres up over that rock, which he does there. Look at that, bouncing that big front end up, and the rear wheels find some traction, and that's it. He has completed the hill climb. Well, he made it. Locker was in, so he certainly had an advantage with the locker. I'm not sure Eileen will make it because it's unlocked, and I just don't think it's going to find the traction to get up here. So I'm not feeling too confident taking Eileen up here. It's very steep, and I just don't think Eileen has what it takes to get up here. With stage 1 completed fairly easily, a little bit of confidence was restored. Stage 2, I tried to stick as close to the tree as I possibly could and tried to find any kind of traction anywhere possible. You can see the right side rear tyre gets stuck on a tree root, which is gaining absolutely no traction at all and just starting to burn the tyre out.
Turn that way a bit.
A little bit of right hand down and we managed to find some traction, and that was section 2 completed. Time for section 3, and trying to do this very sharp turn and slip in the rear is very difficult because my vehicle isn't got the turning circle as Zach's, and it also has no power steering, which makes turning something like this extremely difficult. The front of the vehicle keeps on sliding to the right hand side, and that right front wheel falls in the exact same gap that Zach's fell into. I managed to square Eileen up so that it would go for more of a straight runoff, but now I can hear a strange clicking sound from the front of the vehicle. I think I have a CV that's just about ready to explode. With one last push, I managed to get the front of the vehicle on top of the rocks and get out of there, and I was quite impressed with myself. Unlocked! With Eileen completing stage 3, that brings us to the end of this hill climb video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it, consider subscribing, and you can also follow Broken Sprocket on Instagram. Hope to see you next time.